Let's go, let's go, let's go. We're back another year of Chalk Talk here at Home Team Sports. And today I got Coach Law at Spring Mills High School. Coach, welcome back. Again, congratulations on last year. You, you guys had a lot of success, man. How do you feel last year, losing that game against Martinsburg? How does that feel that you get to get back on the field tomorrow night and just get a fresh start and get back, into the flow of football?
Oh, it feels great. We spent so much time this off season just in the weight room, the grind, and all that good stuff. And just to get out there and show our community what that product looks like. I love the anticipation. I love, I think, what we're going to bring for them. So just, I'm all happy, man.
Yeah. You lost a big time playmaker in your quarterback. You got somebody else stepping in. How do you feel that position has been filled, through August camp, the learning curve, to be able to hit the ground running tomorrow night?
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things. The guy that's going to step in is Riley Schwartz, and I think people are going to like what he brings to the table. But he's not a guy that's completely new to position. Last year he took all those reps behind Max, and one thing I'm really big with my quarterbacks is they're always in the huddle, whether they're in or not. They're in the huddle,
Yeah.
so they're hearing play call and they're watching that guy in front of them go through his progression. So it's one of those things. He sat there, he watched Max, he knew Max understanding, and now it's an opportunity for him to go out there and do it. But me and Rylan, we've talked several times that the most important thing he can do is go out and be Rylan Swartz. Don't sit there and try to be Max. That was last year. You have to be your version. You have to make your own decision on things.
We all know going through football, you got that August camp, that grind, you're facing each other every single day.
Mhm.
What do you think the kid's mindset is, get to face an opponent, a familiar opponent, and not
Mhm.
to face each other, like they have all camp. Like what is their vibe like going into tomorrow night?
Oh, they're excited, man. I was just sitting there talking with Zay and Rylan because we had a little luncheon deal, and they're excited to get out on the football field. But you're right. After so long, you get tired of seeing the same old faces. And we saw that glimpse of what it could be when we went up to North Marion to face Fairmont Senior. But then, you go last week, and that motivation, self motivation wasn't there, and you saw opposite result. So our thing right now is we have to find that hunger and maintain that hunger that we had week one scrimmage.
Who do you think that you're going to be able to depend on to get that hunger started, that fire started early, that you guys don't have a slow start? Who are you depending on to be your leaders going into this season?
Oh, I think hands down, Xavier and both Rowland. Xavier has become absolutely more vocal along with Rowland there, and the kids listen. They listen to those two, man, and so I think that's a big point when you're trying to find that vocal leader. Now, the good thing for us, we've got about three or four more guys that are fitting into that role. So, right now we're getting ourselves there, but I think by the time we get right up, down and running, we'll have multiple guys in that role to help out.
I know you're an offensive guy. That's why I like talking to you. But I'm going to ask you a defensive question because
Okay.
Jefferson, obviously, they're an explosive team. They have a lot of speed. They have turned their program around into a yearly playoff caliber program.
Mhm.
What's going to be the key thing of slowing them down from to making big plays and just putting a lot of points on the board?
Well, you got to identify their playmakers, and that's one thing we've emphasized in practice. Obviously Tony Allen, tremendous athlete. He's got the speed, and you let a kid like that starts getting loose and roaming down the field, you're going to be in for a very long night. So I think it's going to be our defense having to be disciplined enough to know where he is and film study. Film doesn't lie. You get on there, you pick up tendencies, and you have to trust your eyes what you see.
You were playing an EPAC. You're starting off with an EPAC opponent. They've done it, for probably the last 15 years. You're playing
Yep.
Jefferson. What is it like playing that weekly schedule in the EPAC week in and week out that like that you have to grind that basically not what they have to do on the other side of the state? Because
Yeah.
I feel like the EPAC is the best conference. So what is it like being in that conference week in and week out?
Well, one for one, like coming from Morgantown, I've learned to appreciate
Well,
the
I'm
EPAC.
sorry. I'm sorry you come from Morgantown. I apologize for you.
Coming from there, you learn to appreciate the competitive of the EPAC because at Morgantown, you would go all over the place, but here in the EPAC, you ain't got to go far to find a game.
Yeah.
Like it's as competitive as can be, from the top to the bottom, and now you bring in two more, three more teams next year. It is going to be hard. So it's one of those things you better come ready to play, and having that EPAC game from week one, I mean, that speaks volumes. Like a lot of implications on what that can turn for your season.
The last question. I know we had of the media day a couple weeks ago, and I asked Walker this question, so I'm going to ask you that leaving into the meeting. What is it like, and how does it feel that the state championship game was represented by two teams in the EPAC? Right in Berkeley County. Probably 5-10 miles apart. What is the significance of that?
That means the world to me. And I tell people all the time, as if we got an EPAC team playing the state championship, that speaks volume. I mean, I don't care who it is, I'm going to root for them, and that's the way it should be with our conference. Now, the fact you're talking about having two there again speaks more volume to how competitive our conference was last year. Now, with that being said, this is a new year. We've got to go out there and do the same exact thing next year or this year and be even more competitive if we plan to get the representing the EPAC there again.
Well, Coach, I wish you the best of luck. You know what I say here at Home Team Sports, we want you guys to succeed both on and off the field. I hope
Sir.
that you guys have a very successful season, injury-free season, and just enjoy it. Let the kids, get the best of these years. They only got 4. But we do
Yeah.
appreciate you here at Home Team Sports. Thank you for being a model citizen, a great coach, and a good role model for your team. We appreciate you. And I look
Hey,
forward to seeing
appreciate
you more and more this year.
Yes, yes. Let's do it.